Hi Lego fans, how you doing? It's Andy here with you. Let's talk about Lego. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. And today, as I talked about last time in my last video, we're going to attempt to build a elevated platform here that can be used in conjunction with this train station for the elevated line, complete with stair steps and everything. So that's what I'm going to start working on right now. I don't know how this is going to come out, but I'm going to give it my best, and we'll see. So stay tuned, and let's see what we can do. Okay, so this guy right here is what I came up with as a basic structure for my elevated platform, and it's pretty primitive, I'll admit that. Probably nothing Lego themselves would design. But I think it'll do the job. I used those 2x2x3 columns for the main supports. And then I got 1x16s running across here. And then because you didn't have enough room to run a 1x16 across here because these came all the way to the edge, you would have needed a 1x14, which I don't have. So I used these little arches here to extend it out and use a 1x12. So I got 1x12 there, I got two 1x12s in the middle, and another one over there. So the intention here is to put these plates on top, like that, and then tile it off and have a platform, an elevated platform. So let's go ahead, let me go ahead and put the plate on and get it. Well, I won't tile it off yet because I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing to the edges and what kind of tiling I'm going to use. But let's get the plates on, and then we'll put it back over by the tracks and see where we're at. Okay, so here's the platform in place, and we have a small problem here. It's not close enough to the tracks, to the elevated tracks, in my opinion. I mean, you could have a small gap there, I suppose, but I think I had it closer on the last elevated platform train station that I had. So maybe what I'll do is I'll put an arch going out towards the tracks and add a little bit extra plate there, like maybe a 2x something, to get it a little bit closer to the tracks. Now, since this is only 32x16, I've still got the room to put in another essentially a 32x48 plus a little 16x16 or 16x32 right here. So I might be able to still use that for a parking lot. Now, as far as stairs go, I think what I'm going to try to do is maybe go up from this point here as far out as I have to go and go straight up this way to the platform, like up to there. That might work. Or I could go up the side of it, like this way, like the other one, like that one over there does. Either way, I think would work. The side of it, going up the side would probably look better than going up this way. And yeah, so essentially I just need to add the extra 2x, tile it off, put some fencing around it, and then add a stairway. So let's go ahead and get the extra 2x added and see what that looks like. Okay, as you can see, I added these arches here on the outside for 2 extra studs. Of course, I got to fill that in too. That's just something I got to do. But the problem is now, I I got 2x16s across here. There's no support under this, and I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna fly. There's not gonna be any weight on top of it, so I don't know. I mean, I wish there was a way to give it more support, but I don't know how I can do that when this is all I have here, and there's no way to put another arch in the middle there, unless, well, you know what, unless I put another post in here. I could put another post in here and put an arch on that. Yeah, that's what I'll have to do. I'll have to put another post in there, and I'll have to put another post in there for extra support. I just figured it out. So yeah, that's what I'll have to do to support those. And then we can put it back next to the tracks, make sure that's close enough, and figure out the rest of it. So let me get those 2 extra posts in and go from there. Okay, there you have it. It is now supported in the middle by 2 extra posts with those same arches on there. So this is all secure. It's got plenty of support under it. And let's take it over to the tracks and see if it's how close it is. And then we'll go from there. So stand by. That is absolutely perfect. I couldn't have done it better than that. Look at that. Look how close that comes. And it sits perfectly in this little slot right here where the half base plate goes. I had to move this support here out a little bit because it was in the way. But other than that, I mean, they're split apart like they normally are, about one every other track. So even though it looks a little saggy there in the middle, I might have to put some extra support under there. I don't know. But that, like I said, that's the same as everywhere else, like here. But that doesn't look saggy. I don't know. Maybe it needs some extra support on the track itself underneath, perhaps. But anyway, yeah, so the platform is perfect. It's going right up to the tracks. So we've got our elevated platform here to hook onto this train station. Now we just need to build the stairs and tile it off, put some fencing around it or walls around it, whatever we're going to do, and then go from there. So let's work on the stairs, and let me see what I can come up with that as far as that goes. And then we'll worry about the rest of it. But let's do stairs now. All right, Lego fans, this is what I came up with for the stairs. And I don't know if you can see that too well. It's kind of in the dark. But they come up from that platform, or from that Mills plate rather, and stretch up here to this extra platform that I had to add on there. That's supported by those 2x4s. So basically what I'll do is I'll just connect this to the main platform with tiles when I tile it off. So like I said, it's got its own supports. So it just has to be tied in with the other plate. And then I think the stairway is going to fit. This is like 2 prefab stairways plus like 3 extra stairs that I had to make by hand, using 1x2 plates, 2x2 plates, and 1x4 plates. Obviously, they would get tiled off and they'd get a railing and all that stuff. So what do you think of them starting right there where they start at? You think that's okay? I know last video somebody mentioned elevators, well, that's a possibility too, but I don't know. I like the challenge of putting stairs in for some reason. But do you think it's wonky or whatever having them start out where they start at? I don't know. I think it's probably okay. Based on, you can come up, if your parking lot's over here, you come up and you step up on this, and then you step up on this, or step up on the main platform, and then you go across under here if you want to go to the ground line, or you go up the stairs if you want to go to the elevated line. Makes sense? All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm probably going to put some fencing around like I did on that one down there. I don't know whether to use that fancy fencing or just the straight fencing, or I could even use this fencing right here. See how I got that put up? I think I'm going to use that right here on the elevated line, where it's got these 1x3 plates at the bottom and top, and it's got these harpoon pieces in there, just like in front of the Natural History Museum. Pretty cool. I don't know if I'm going to use those on this though. So let me get some fencing around here and get some tiling on here, and then we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so I didn't completely tile it off just for the purposes of this video, just to show you what it's going to look like. What do you think of my pattern? What do you think of my, it's dark azure and light gray, light stone medium stone gray. You think that looks good? I didn't, on the other train station, I didn't do a checker pattern like that. I did sort of a different pattern with blue. You think I should do it that way? Or do you think the checker pattern looks okay over here? Leave me your opinions in the comments. So I've got this stairway platform connected with the tiles. I mean, it's obviously supported underneath too, so it's not going to fall down. And then I also added a couple supports underneath the stairs. One down here and one here in the middle. So that won't be falling down. Of course, like I said, I'll tile off the stairs. I'll add railing and I saved, of course, a 1x stud on the outside here for fencing as well. So, overall, what do you think of my elevated train station platform? Do you think it looks good? You think it's, I think it's, I think it's kind of boxy and primitive. I mean, it does have the arches there, so that helps a little bit, but it is kind of boxy. I mean, of course, so is that one over there too. But I don't know. Leave me your opinions. Let me know what you think in the comments. We'll go from there. But I think that's basically all I have for you today in terms of Lego City updates. But I did want to spend a few more minutes just giving you my my thoughts on the big Bricks and Minifigs scandal that's going on right now. If you haven't heard about it, the only reason, because I don't like drama on my channel, obviously, but the only reason I'm saying anything about it is because I've done business with Bricks and Minifigs before, and I haven't had any problems with them, you know, as far as the business I've done with them. But if the story is true and everything that I'm hearing on the internet, of course, you can't believe everything you hear on the internet, but if you haven't heard about it, the basic story goes that there was a man somewhere in Oregon that sold a like $200,000 worth of Star Wars Lego to a Bricks and Minifigs store on consignment, which basically meant they didn't pay him up front. Like every time I've sold Lego to Bricks and Minifigs, they paid me up front, and that was it, the end of the transaction. But they were supposed to do it on consignment, which means that as they sold it, they would keep a portion of it and they would pay him the rest. Well, during this time, that was an agreement with the franchise owner of the store. And then the franchise owner somehow got kicked out by the corporate people, and a new owner took over, and this new owner will not honor this agreement because they claim they don't do consignment or something like that, but they're refusing to give back the inventory that the gentleman gave them to sell, but they also won't pay him either. And there's been this other YouTuber guy named Reckless Ben or something like that that's been doing a whole story on it, and he's been dealing with cops and all kinds of stuff, lawsuits and all this drama going on about this situation. So like I said, I don't like drama, but I just think I just wanted to put my 2 cents in. I mean, I don't think, if, like I said, if everything is true that I'm hearing online, that they're in fact kind of trying to get out of this thing, if Bricks and Minifigs is trying to get out of this agreement and cheating this guy out of his $200,000 worth of Star Wars Lego, that's definitely not right. I mean, I'll be the first to say that. Well, I won't be the first to say it, but a lot of people have said it now. But so yeah, I don't understand why they're doing what they're doing. I mean, either pay the guy what they owe him for what they have, or give the stuff back. I don't know how hard that is. You know, it's probably that they've already sold it, or already sold some of it, and in that case, they should have a record of what they sold, and they should pay him what they owe him, what the agreement said. I heard that they were trying to give him back like $2,500 to $5,000 worth, and then he refused because obviously that's a small portion of what he gave to them. So So the problem lies somewhere with the previous owner and then the new owner and them refusing to. Well, I guess this Ben guy sued Bricks and Minifigures and won in court. So he has a lawsuit against them for this money, and they're still refusing to pay. So he was trying to get a lawsuit against the new owners of the Bricks and Minifigures store in Oregon, as it personally trying to get them in a lawsuit. But I guess he had some problems serving the papers or whatever, and ran into some problems with law enforcement and all that. So it's been a big debacle, and I don't know. It's just, I mean, it's affecting the Lego community as a whole, and that's why another reason why I thought I'd mention it. And because a lot of people do business with Bricks and Minifigs. I mean, they're a huge retail or resale store. You know, I have 2 locations around my area that I've been to both of them. I've sold Lego to both of them. I've never bought anything from them, but I've definitely sold stuff to them. So, yeah. So, I mean, I mean, this thing is like going to ruin their reputation if they don't do something, or if it doesn't get resolved. Because a lot of people are basically on the same side I'm on. It's like, you know, if you cheated this guy out of his Lego, then you need to give it back or you need to pay him. That's all there is to it. So let me know how you feel in the comments, or if you've even heard of this debacle. And we'll go from there. Like I said, I'm not trying to dramatize or add controversy or anything like that. I just thought I'd mention it and put my 2 cents into it, and let you know that it is happening, and that that I don't think it's right. So anyways, that's all for today's video. Thanks for taking me along. I do appreciate it. And next time we will continue further onto my train station blocky platform over there, and work on that some more. And also we might touch on redesigning the other train station, or adding some more road plates over there on the 25-inch platform. I got plenty of stuff to do, so stay tuned. Have a wonderful day. Keep building Lego, and I'll talk to you later. All right, guys. Bye-bye.